Hey guys, it's Anna and welcome to my channel. Today I wanted to do an updated version of my everyday go-to natural makeup look. My routine now is a lot different from what it used to be. I used to use strictly powder products and I did a full glam version of natural makeup. I just couldn't understand how to take out one of those steps in the full-blown makeup process. And now I feel more confident and beautiful and less makeup. Basically, I want this to look like skin, but just an amplified, better version of it. This is practically a full face of cream products. I've really only strategically placed powder in the places that I crease really badly, but other than that, it's all cream. It's been my new obsession. So if you want to know about my updated everyday makeup routine, how to get this glowy, glass-like skin, go ahead and keep watching. Alright, so a little bit of a disclaimer. I may or might, wow, good start. I may or may not have had a couple of drinks before this video. So I'm a little bit tipsy and I'm a little bit out of it. So hopefully all goes well. But you know what? When you need to film, you need to film. So I'm going to grasp this opportunity at what, probably 11 p.m. right now, since I have a beautiful track record of filming at inappropriate times or not so convenient, but it's fine. Starting off with one of my favorite primers. This is the Smashbox Photo Finish Primerizer. I really don't notice my makeup lasting longer with this primer, but it's just very watery and gel-like and it feels so nice on the skin. And honestly, it agrees with every single foundation I put over it. I'm sorry if you can hear crickets in the background. Like, it's hot in here, man. With all these beauty lights, it's hard work and I need the window open. So I'm gonna put my hair back in my favorite style. I'm looking good. So I'm gonna be using the Fenty Pro Filter Foundation in the shade 190. I have gone through my two all-time favorite foundations in the world. The Dior Forever foundation is my #1. That's discontinued. That's fantastic. Then I went through my second favorite, which is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless. And now I'm moving on to Fenty, which I don't really have a determined third favorite foundation, but this is definitely up there for me. I'm absolutely obsessed with this. And if I could have some self-control, I would love to just go through the foundations in my collection, because once I found out that makeup expires, I got really anxious. Truly one of my biggest pet peeves, like I don't even think really pet peeves is the right word for it because it gives me anxiety to a whole nother level, is wasting money. So when I found out that makeup expired, I freaked out because I have so much makeup and I love it. Like, it's so fun. I think it's fine for people to have, you know, their passions or their collections of certain things. But, you know, if you're collecting baseball cards, those aren't going to expire, you know? So yeah, currently I'm just trying to go through the makeup that I have, and I'm trying to be a little bit more patient, a little bit smarter with my purchases, not feeling this like need to buy and try every single product because I have a YouTube channel and I justify it and all of that. By no means am I going on a no buy. No, this is a collection and it is an addiction. So no, we're not going on a no buy. I'm just trying to be on like a slow buy. Absolutely love this foundation. I believe this was actually the first high-end foundation I ever bought and I was obsessed with it. I was so wowed by how this made my skin look. I thought foundation, you know, it was gonna look like foundation. It's gonna look like makeup. But after I tried this formula, it just got me into being way pickier with my makeup formulas. I will say I definitely prefer more of a satin or glowy finish. However, this doesn't dry out my skin and it doesn't make me look so matte that I look lifeless and there's no dimension to my face. And I have dry skin and it still works for me. This is so bizarre, but genuinely, if I have a hard time perfectly getting my makeup like shoved in there, I like go like this and flatten out the area, and I'm like, get in there. After dinner today, it inspired me to do a drunk makeup tutorial. I really want to do one. But then I was like, oh my gosh, no, I can't do that. My parents would kill me. And then I'm like, no, they won't. I'm 22. I'm allowed to do this. So then I'm going to go in with concealer. This is the Colourpop Light 20 concealer. This isn't really a brightening shade, but I'll cover up those dark circles. Colourpop is definitely one of my favorite go-to concealer formulas. Just looks fantastic on the skin. So for the longest time, even though I have dry skin, I would always use a powder. Like this would be my routine. Then I would go ahead and set all the creasy places on my face, then go in with a face powder, go in then with powder bronzer, powder blush, so on and so forth. But I have been so ridiculously obsessed with cream products lately. I think it started just from me being so busy that I wouldn't have time to do full glam anymore, even if it was more natural. So I would just put on some cream bronzer, some mascara, a little bit of brow gel, stuff like that, a little bit of gloss. And now I'm just so obsessed with the look of creams and not setting my face with powder anymore. I'm just obsessed with that dewy, glossy look. I can't get enough of creams. They don't emphasize texture whatsoever, and the way they blend looks so ridiculously natural. Like I found a whole new world. A whole new world. So I'm not gonna worry about anything creasing right now. Like, I mean, it's already in the process. But I'm not going to worry about setting that down, because if I do, even if I just, take a smidge a little bit too far, it's going to get in the way of my cream products. I want everything to blend seamlessly. So I'm going to use the Milk Makeup Bronzer in the shade Baked. I am obsessed with this. It's such a gorgeous color. It's a very natural, sun-kissed, warm shade. And this is a Colourpop F5 brush. It's meant to be a highlighter brush, which it's fantastic for, but I love this shape because I can just strategically put my cream products on my face, because this is just too big of an application for me. Like, I don't want bronzer all the way down here. I want my cheekbones to look high and lifted. I'm just gonna blend her out. Like, are you kidding me? Within a few pounces. Look at that. My favorite blush at the moment, well, I have a few. I just bought 2 of the Glossier Cloud Paints, and I'm freaking obsessed. Wow. This is in the shade Beam. Oh my gosh. It looks so natural, but then like model-esque, doll-like at the same time. Kind of like a sister to Milani Luminoso. It's just the perfect mix of pink and orange coral. This stuff goes a long way. I'll apply it with like my pointer finger, and then if I get too much or I need to blend the edges a bit, I'll use then like another finger. Oh, how good do I look? Sorry. Well, I mean, gotta hype yourself up sometimes, Okay. Done with the blush today. Now for highlighter, I have been obsessed with this. I mentioned this in a previous video, but now I get to finally show you guys the application. This is the Hollywood Flawless Filter from Charlotte Tilbury in the shade 3. This is beautiful. This is not metallic or shimmery whatsoever. It truly just adds the perfect wet glossy glow. Like, literally looks like you just hopped in the shower, but your makeup still looks perfect. The sheen on this is gorgeous. So this is one layer on my skin. Ooh, it's good. Okay, but I always like to go 2, because why the frick not? I mean, you got like a giant bottle of it. Oh, it's good. So now it's finally time to put on some powder. Thank goodness. Like, do you see this? I don't understand how people can do like a full face of cream products. Like, truly a full face. That doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I have young skin and I got creases like here. I mean, this is the worst part. Like, Girl, no. So before I set anything down, of course I'm gonna blend this out so we're not setting down creases. Gosh, that's what I used to do before I knew what I was doing. I mean, who knows? Maybe I'm still doing things that are not the best. Makeup is a learning process. So I'm using some Glossier Wowder, sticking her right under the eye, like literally right there. I'm not gonna be doing like a full triangle moment because I don't want that. I want to keep as much glow as possible. This is the Body Shop sponge, by the way. Do not recommend this for like applying foundation, for example. It's just a very dense sponge. I really don't know. I don't like it. However, this shape is perfect for getting right up in there. So using this technique with the sponge just makes your application a little bit more seamless, makes the powder sink into the skin better, as with a brush, just a little bit drier with the application. So with this does not feel wet or damp at all, honestly. I will run this under water so it expands, and then I'll grab a towel and like squeeze the crap out of it, because if there's any liquid in here and that attaches to the powder, then you're gonna get it all bunched up. That's going to transfer onto your face and it's just not cute, and then it's going to get patchy. It's going to stick in weird places. We don't want that. And I've never seen anyone use Wowder as an under eye powder, and I get it because it does have pigmentation to it. So if you were to have a brightening concealer under the eye and then you use this would pretty much get rid of that and just make it so that your under eyes match the rest of your face. But I honestly don't mind that. As long as my under eyes aren't darker than the rest of my face, it's fine. It looks more natural anyway. This formula is just beautiful. I haven't used another powder that makes my under eyes look this flawless. They don't look dry or crepey whatsoever, and literally all up until the end of the day, I get no creasing under my under eyes. It's funny though, because this powder doesn't completely stop my smile lines, but it does my under eye creases. This looks so strange. I can't decide if this makes me look old or like I have some like ridiculously long mustache. Both look great. Ooh, let's do my brows. We haven't done brows together in a long time. Just in case if any of you are interested in how I fill in my horribly uneven brows, let's do it. So I've gone back to using the Anastasia Brow Wiz again. This is in the shade Taupe. I just love how precise and tiny this is, and because this is a little bit of a drier formula, it's a little bit more forgiving. So it kind of makes it easier to create a softer brow. So I always start with brushing my brow hairs up just so I can see what I'm working with. And then I start right here and ever so slightly start to underline my brow, but with a very light hand. I've just never personally been into the Instagram brow. Oh my gosh, I just realized I stopped talking. I'm doing a brow tutorial. Shit. Once I line the bottom, then I start kind of creating my arch ever so slightly. And then I kind of go into the middle over here at the tail of my brow. And I start lightly like flicking outwards to create a sharper tail. And then after I see that sharp tail, I'll go in and kind of connect that with the rest of the brow. Because I find that if I go line the bottom, line the top, and then try to like fill in this part and then do the tail, sometimes the tail just won't look as sharp or it doesn't go in the perfect direction. So before I even complete filling in this section, I'll just start in the middle of it, flick it out, and then that kind of gives me a guideline of how I want to form the rest of it. When I get to the front, I do upward strokes very lightly because you want the least amount of pigment over here. And then really before I complete and perfect this brow, I'll leave it as is once I have like a base color down, and then move on to the other brow because I don't want to go overboard here and then have to like match that up. You know, it really does suck that my brows are so uneven, but they're so uneven in my opinion that I feel like I can't, you know, make the lower one like draw it higher and then the higher one draw it lower, because then my brows will look so thick and I feel like that's just not gonna frame my face right. I've considered microblading maybe at some point, but I'm just afraid of them ending up looking so thick because they are so different. So I've kind of just embraced how they are, and now I don't really care. I mean, if I could change them, great, I would, but I'm not gonna go and beyond to like be obsessed with making them even because they're just not naturally. I'm gonna use my favorite brow gel of all time. This is the Colourpop Brow Boss Gel in Clear. I'm still looking for something to trump this. This is definitely by far the best one I've used, but I want to find something that's even more foolproof. This does a great job, but I find that it only keeps them in place for a few hours. So now moving on to the eyes, I've been obsessed with using a single eye product that's going to give me some glossy, wet look, sparkly effect that's so beautiful that you can use on natural looks, like that's the only thing you're kind of putting on your eyes. I've been obsessed with the Natasha Denona Chroma Crystal Top Coats. I bought the shade Bronze, and after that I bought 3 more shades. So this is the one I've been using the most lately. This is in the shade Peach, and it's just a little bit of a different kind of nude to add onto the eyes. So if I'm in a rush, then I'll just whip this on, but if I do have the time, I do prefer to use like a nude brown shade in the crease just to smoke it out a little bit. So I'm going to use my favorite palette of all time. This is the Desi and Katy Dose of Colors Friendcation palette, and I'm going to use the shade Necessary. I'm obsessed with this shade, and I don't know how, because it's just a brown. Like, it's so basic, but it's so necessary. I have so many palettes in my collection, but every time I open my drawer, I just grab for this one, like every single time. It's so good. Not gonna lie, I was a bit bitter when I saw this on Ulta's 21 Days of Beauty when I paid full price, but it's fine. It's worth every penny. And then I'm using a little bit of a smaller brush. It's a little bit more tapered, but still fluffy. Still going into the same shade. And I'm just using this to smoke underneath the lower lash line. Wow. Come on, hair. They gotta see what I'm doing here. This is so difficult. Just gets in the way, man. Sorry, I don't know why I keep saying man, because 99% of my audience is female. Speaking of my audience, my lovely audience, I was going through my, what's it called? My analytics, and I discovered that out of all the people that watch my videos, like 75% of you are not subscribed. Why? I mean, you're watching my videos anyways, and you know you're gonna come back, so why not? Like, why not help me out and subscribe? It makes it more convenient for you, because then you'll see my lovely face in your subscription feed, and it's more convenient for me because you're helping me. Thank you so much. So, while we're here, subscribe. I mean, if you want to, of course. If you don't like me or my videos, then of course, like, don't do that. Jeez, that would be horrible. Like, no, I would never ask that of you. But if you do, take a moment, pause, find down below. It's red. It says subscribe. I believe it's to the right, the bottom right of this screen. Just click it. And if you do, you will have a blessed day, because you will know that you've helped out not 1, but 2 people today. Subscribe. Now, for one of my favorite parts. So we're using the Natasha Denona in the shade Peach. Going with my pinky, because these just apply the best to the finger. They really don't apply very well on a brush. I go in with 3 layers. That's like the sweet spot for me. And I kind of do like press and drag motions, and then for the last layer, I kind of just tap it on to get that glitter effect. And then I'll use a finger with no product on it and just blend out the edges. And I don't really mind if a little bit gets in my crease, because it just creates more of an editorial, glossy-eyed look. But I don't want to bring it up too high. You're beautiful. You're beautiful. It's true. I'm going to stick a little bit in the inner corner. Everyone's at Coachella right now, and I'm here in my room filming a makeup tutorial at midnight. Living the life. Can you understand why I'm obsessed with these? This is the prettiest setting spray I have ever used. It truly looks like the epitome of wet, dewy, gloss-like, glass-like skin. This can get intense real fast, so just be careful with this. Don't go in with too much, because I made that mistake. Since this spritzer is so light, the mist is beautiful. It's very fine and airy. So I'd recommend just going in with one coat, wait a few minutes and see how it looks, and then decide from there if you want to put on more. I will say that this doesn't make my makeup last a very long time. Of course, it still does help as opposed to not using a setting spray at all, but this is definitely nowhere near like an Urban Decay all-nighter. So once I've gone in with one layer, I obviously do not want to put anything else in my T-zone, because then you're looking straight up oily. I'm going to target hit my cheekbones, and that's going to make my highlight pop even more. I'm telling you, it's just too good. This is definitely a go-to product for me when trying to achieve glass-like skin. So I just put on some mascara. This is the Maybelline The Falsies mascara. This isn't my favorite or anything, it's just what I've been using, but I do like it. My all-time favorites, however, are the Maybelline Lash Sensational, the Butter London Double Decker mascara, and the Lancome Monsieur Big mascara. Lastly, for my lip product, I'm sorry, no, I'm not sorry. I'm obsessed with this. This is my favorite lip product of all time. I'm just gonna do a light coat of this today. So this is the Lancome L'Absolu Lacquer in the shade 321. I'm obsessed with this color. I'm obsessed with the formula. It's long lasting. It's glossy. Truly only have to apply this once a day. Doesn't leave you butthole lips. It's comfortable. You can add this beautiful sheer wash of color, or you can really build it up to full pigmentation. This is one of my favorite products on the market. This was a genius formula creation. Alright guys, so this is the finished makeup look. Nice and simple. Hope you like it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't already. If you'd like to see me in any more videos, I'd appreciate it so much. I hope you guys are having an amazing day, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!